Hi, I'm Kathy.
And I'm Justin.
And I'm Abby.
And we have the Integumentary System,
which consists of your nails
and your skin,
and your hair.
The integumentary system serves as a barrier against infection and injury, helps to regulate body temperature, remove waste products from the body, and provides protection against ultraviolet radiation from the sun.
The skin is made up of two main layers, the epidermis and the dermis. The outer layer of the skin is the epidermis. The epidermis itself has two layers. The outside of the epidermis, the part that comes in contact with the environment, is made up of dead cells. The inner layer of the epidermis is made up of living cells.
Cells in the inner layer of the epidermis undergo rapid cell division, producing new cells that push older cells to the surface of the skin. As they move upward, the older cells become flattened and their organelles disintegrate. They also begin making keratin, a tough, fibrous protein. Eventually, the keratin-producing cells die and form a tough, flexible, waterproof covering of the surface of the skin. This outer layer of dead cells is shed or washed away at a surprising rate, once every 4 or 5 weeks.
The epidermis also contains melanocytes. Melanocytes are cells that produce melanin, a dark brown pigment. Melanin helps protect the skin from damage by absorbing ultraviolet rays from the sun. The inner layer of the skin is the dermis. The dermis lies beneath the epidermis and contains collagen fibers, blood vessels, nerve endings, glands, sensory receptors, smooth muscles, and hair follicles.
The dermis contains two major types of glands, sweat glands and sebaceous, or oil glands. If your body gets too hot, sweat glands produce perspiration, or sweat. Sweat contains water, salt, and other compounds. When sweat evaporates, it takes heat away from your body. Sweat also gets rid of waste from the blood, along with water. In this way, the skin acts as an organ of excretion. Sebaceous glands produce an oily secretion called sebum. Sebum spreads out along the surface of the skin and helps to keep the keratin-rich epidermis flexible and waterproof.
Hair covers almost every exposed surface of the body and has important functions. Hair on the head protects the scalp from ultraviolet light from the sun and provides insulation from the cold. Hairs in the nostrils, external ears canals, and around the eye, example eyelashes, prevent dirt and other particles from entering the body. Hair is produced by cells at the base of structures called hair follicles. Hair follicles are tube-like pockets of epidermal cells that extend into the dermis.
Nails grow from an area of rapidly dividing cells known as the nail root. The nail root is located near the tips of the fingers and toes. During cell division, the cells of the nail root fill with keratin and produce a tough, plate-like nail that covers and protects the tips of the fingers and toes. Nails grow at an average rate of 3 millimeters per month, with fingernails growing more rapidly than toenails, about 4 times as fast.
Ultraviolet or UV radiation is one type of energy from the sun. UV rays cause sunburn, some cataracts, and skin cancer. There are many factors that affect the amount of UV radiation to which you are exposed. These include the time of day, the season, the weather conditions, and your location. Recently, the National Weather Service, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Centers for Disease Control agreed upon a national UV index. The UV index is issued daily to advise you of conditions in your region of the country.
Excessive exposure to the ultraviolet radiation and sunlight can produce skin cancer, an abnormal growth of cells in the skin. You can help protect yourself from this dangerous disease by wearing a hat, sunglasses, and protective clothing whenever you plan to spend time outside. In addition, you should always use a sunscreen with a sun protection factor, SPF, of at least 15.
And remember, if you don't take care of your skin, you'll turn out like this.
Remember to wear sunscreen. And never tan in tanning beds.